Julius Rock is standing in his kitchen. There is spilled milk on the table. Not a lot, just a splash. The kind of thing that happens in every house with 3 kids under one roof. And he looks at it. He does the math, out loud, right there. That's 49 cents of spilled milk dripping all over my table.
That's 49 cents of spilled milk dripping all over my table. Somebody gonna drink this milk.
The laugh track fires. The audience cracks up. Terry Crews sells it perfectly. That big frame, that dead serious face doing the calculation like a man staring at a crime scene. And we laughed, every time, for 4 seasons straight. But here's what I've been sitting with since I rewatched this show. What if that scene was never funny? What if the laugh track was doing the heaviest lifting in the history of television, covering up something that a psychologist would recognize immediately? Welcome to Chris's Couch, and today I need to talk about Julius Rock, not the punchline, the man underneath the punchline. Because once you see what the show was actually putting on screen, you will not be able to watch a single Julius scene the same way again. Let's start with what the show tells you about this man's life before the sitcom even begins. Julius Rock was born in New York City around 1950. He grew up during the Civil Rights Movement. He was raised alongside 6 siblings in a household where money was so scarce that his own father called the police every Christmas, reported the house had been robbed, and collected the insurance payout just to afford gifts for his children. That is where Julius Rock learned what money meant, not from a finance class, not from a bad month, from a father who had to commit insurance fraud to put something under a Christmas tree. By the time Julius is the age where most people are finding their footing financially, he still had not made $25, not $25 an hour, $25 at all. He was 30 years old before that number appeared in his paycheck. The family lived in a housing project until 1982. Then they scraped together enough to move to Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, which sounds like progress, and in some ways it was, but Bed-Stuy in 1982 was not a soft landing. In the 1980s, 23% of Bedford-Stuyvesant residents lived below the poverty line. The crack epidemic was arriving. The neighborhood had decades of redlining behind it, meaning black families there had been systematically blocked from building wealth through home ownership the same way white families in other parts of the city were doing. Julius moved his family out of the projects and into a neighborhood that the rest of New York had quietly decided was where poor black people were supposed to stay. And he worked 2 jobs, a newspaper delivery route and a security guard position. Not for a season, not while saving for something else, for the entire run of the series. Now I want you to hold all of that for a second, and I want to tell you about something that 2 researchers, Eldar Shafir at Princeton and Sendhil Mullainathan at Harvard, spent years studying. They studied fruit vendors in China, shoppers in New Jersey, farmers in India, and what they found was this. When a person lives under prolonged financial scarcity, it does not just affect their wallet, it rewires their thinking. The brain begins to tunnel. It locks onto financial threats and cannot look away from them, even when looking away would be the healthier choice. The mind starts calculating costs automatically, not because the person is greedy or petty, but because the brain learned a long time ago that one uncalculated expense can collapse everything.
They called it scarcity mindset, and the research is clear. It develops from real scarcity, usually in childhood, usually sustained over years, and once it forms, it does not just disappear when the financial situation improves. It stays. Because the brain adapted to survive a specific environment, and survival adaptations do not turn off when the environment changes. Julius Rock grew up in that environment, every single dollar of it. So when he calculates the cost of spilled milk at 49 cents, he is not being a cheapskate. He is doing something his brain has been trained to do since he was a child, watching his father fake a police report to afford Christmas. He is running the numbers because the numbers were always the difference between making it and not making it. And the show keeps giving us the evidence without ever calling it what it is. There is the scene where Chris asks for an allowance, a completely normal thing for a kid to ask, and Julius does not just say no. He delivers a full accounting of everything Chris already receives. An allowance?
I'll allow you to sleep here at night. I'll allow you to eat them potatoes. I'll allow you to use my lights.
I was hoping you can give me an allowance.
But here's what he heard.
Since you work like a slave all day and don't have any time to enjoy your own money, can I have it?
An allowance? I allow you to sleep here at night. I allow you to use my lights. I allow you to nibble on them green beans. I allow you to look at that TV.
He lists the electricity, the food, the roof, all of it priced and categorized. The audience laughs. But what you are watching is a man who has mentally accounted for every resource in that apartment, not because he wants his son to feel bad, because in his mind, resources are not things you take for granted. They are things you track or they disappear. There is the Halloween candy episode. He hates buying Halloween candy. The narrator tells us Julius hated spending money on stuff they kept, so buying stuff to give away nearly drove him crazy. That is not cheapness. That is a man for whom every dollar spent is a dollar that came from somewhere specific.
My father hated buying Halloween candy. He didn't like spending money on stuff we kept.
Hey, baby.
What's up, babe?
Knickers.
I go to this place, they got everything. Knickers, Two Musketeers, M&M's.
Gravy waves.
It's the same as a Milky Way, but it tastes like gravy.
There is the scene where he watches The Price is Right and calls out the correct cost of a dishwasher without owning one. The narrator says his father was like Rain Man when it came to guessing what something costs. Rochelle asks how he knew. Julius says, because it costs $430. That's why we don't have one. He has memorized the price of things he cannot afford. That is not a comedy bit. That is a man who has spent years window shopping inside his own head, knowing exactly what things cost, because knowing is the only relationship he gets to have with them. And I want to talk about his body, because the show tells you something there too if you watch for it. Julius gets gout. He has high blood pressure. He is chronically exhausted. The Wikipedia description of his character literally uses the word exhausted. The show frames his diet, all that fried chicken and red meat, as a running joke. But chronic stress from financial pressure is directly linked to poor dietary choices, high blood pressure, and inflammation-related conditions like gout. His body is carrying what his mind has been managing for decades. The show put it on screen and dressed it up as character flavor. Now here's the thing I keep coming back to, the most important thing. Julius has a brother named Louis, and Louis became significantly more successful than Julius. The show establishes that Louis's success makes Julius deeply insecure. Every time Louis visits, Julius is trying to look good, trying to measure up, trying to prove something. And that detail unlocks the whole character for me. Because Louis and Julius grew up in the same house. Same father with a Christmas insurance scheme, same 6 siblings, same starting point, and somewhere along the way, their paths separated. And Julius ended up on the side of the path where you deliver newspapers at 5 a.m. and calculate whether you can afford Halloween candy. That is not a man who is cheap. That is a man who has watched someone with his same blood escape the weight he is still carrying. And he does not know exactly why Louis made it out and he did not. And so every penny becomes something to hold on to, because letting go of pennies is how you end up back where you started. The narrator, adult Chris Rock, plays all of this for laughs. He built a comedy career on it. Julius's counting, Julius's calculations, Julius's perfectly timed outrage over 49 cents of spilled milk. Chris turned his father's survival mechanism into a punchline. And he did it so well that for 4 seasons, the audience never stopped to ask what was underneath the joke. But here's what I cannot stop thinking about. Chris escaped. Chris Rock became one of the most successful comedians in American history. He got out of Bed-Stuy. He got out of the 2 buses to a school where nobody looked like him. He built a life that his father's sacrifice made possible. Julius never escaped. Julius kept delivering newspapers. Julius kept doing the math on spilled milk. Julius kept working 2 jobs so the lights stayed on and the kids stayed fed. And Chris could eventually stand on a stage and make the whole world laugh at the man who gave him everything. The comedy was always Chris processing something that was not actually funny. The laugh track was the distance he needed to put between himself and the weight of what his father carried. Strip away Terry Crews's delivery. Strip away the music cue, strip away the laugh track, and what you have is a man born in 1950, raised in poverty, blocked at every institutional level from building real wealth, working himself into gout and high blood pressure across 2 jobs for his entire adult life, who memorized the price of things he could not afford and calculated the cost of everything he could because that was the only control he had ever been given. That is not a cheapskate. That is a man who was terrified every single day, and the show never once told you that. It just kept laughing. And now that you have seen it, every Julius scene is going to hit differently. Every calculation, every price tag, every moment where the audience was supposed to laugh, you are going to see a man doing the only thing his life taught him to do. Hold on and count everything, because one day, the count might be the thing that saves you. That is Julius Rock. Welcome to Chris's Couch. We are going to do this every week.